So we have an additional part to the interview of Anurag Kashyap with Baradwaj Rangan. It's where he asked 10 questions to him. Now, if you haven't seen the original video, definitely check it out on Galattaplus. I'll put the link in the description. I've already reacted to the main interview. You can check it out on the channel. Let's have a look at this.
Anurag sir, welcome to Galattaplus and 10 questions. You mentioned that your film journey started when you went to this film festival, and one of the films that really knocked you out was Bicycle Thieves.
Yeah.
Victoria De Sica's Thieves.
Yeah.
That is such an un-Anuragian movie for me. What was it that really spoke to you?
Nothing, it's just the fact that the stories that I would write can also be movies. I wrote stories as a child and I was put down by my school teachers and things and reprimanded that this is not stories. Stories should have a message. Stories should be inspiring. This, that. It can't have these kind of endings.
Right.
So I would write for myself. I became a closet writer. I wrote only for myself and never wanted to show anything to anyone.
Big lesson for everyone. Any story can be good. It's how you tell them.
What Bicycle Thieves makes me realize that films don't always have to have happy endings. They don't have to put out messages. They need to just represent who the world it is set in. Because through that film, I realized Italy में भी एक ज़माना ऐसा था. मतलब for me, foreign countries meant paradise.
Right.
And Bicycle Thieves was no paradise. So it took a lot of notion away that I used to get watching Hindi films.
Right.
Films also are representation of the society of that time, right? Like that they tell you the history of that, like not history as in direct history, but understanding of how, like, in future, like today we watch movies of those era to understand what time period that was like. And like 100 years, 200 years from now, people will watch today's films to understand what time and place we were as people, the place we lived in, and all of it, how it looked, and etc, all of that, etc.
That cinema, this is all that cinema can be.
Right.
I suddenly saw cinema can be so much more than Hollywood and Bollywood.
You mentioned that
Yep.
Aranyakandam, Tyagarajan Kumar Raja's first film is one of your, like, it just knocked you out and all that. I want to know what your favorite scene in that is.
My,
What's my favorite scene? It's definitely the scene in the car, where they are going, like they get a call. I don't remember the characters. They get a call and he picks it on speaker and he's telling him to kill the guy they are with, and he also hears it, and it's such an awkward moment. I think that's one of my favorite.
my favorite scene in that, I was just so, I'm blown by everything in the film, the stylization, everything.
He has like the uncut version, like no cuts, nothing, like a director's version of the film with him, and I think I watched the censored version with the blurs and all of that and cuts, and all of, not the best experience.
I think the Jackie Shroff's entry, that had the massive impact on me. I don't know whether it was seeing
I forgot he was in the film.
Jackie Shroff in a Tamil film or what was it, but just the way it was done, I started seeing him in a very new light.
What do you think of the state of film literacy in India?
It depends which part of India are you talking about.
Interesting
It differs.
question.
The most film literate state is Kerala and then Tamil Nadu. And the filmmakers, if you talk about,
I'll agree.
they're amazing filmmakers coming out of Northeast right now.
Right.
But they're all individuals, it's not really. And lots of states are discovering. Manipur watches hell of a lot of Korean cinema. I'm waiting for that Korean cinema influenced voice, which must be like today 13 or 14. So 7 to 8 years from now, you will get the best action dark filmmakers from Manipur. So
He knows everything, man.
they feed on it. I don't know, the most cinema literate state is Kerala.
Yeah.
And then Tamil Nadu. And because of that literacy, there's also that consumption and that kind of filmmaking that is happening there.
What is the first film you recall watching in a theater?
First film,
I think I said in one of the podcasts that I have been told, I was like very small, that the first film I was taken to theater was Gadar, like Prem Katha. And I have been told I have slept all the movie. Like, it's hard to imagine I slept in that movie. It's so loud, but yeah, I did.
I don't know, it was some kind of a Dracula film shown in a
Oh.
Christian missionary school.
Wow!
Because they used to show those
Your
films to make you
childhood
fear.
is like Anurag Kashyap movie, yeah?
Because they used to show those films to tell you that how to make you more religious and believe in God, that You can
Ah,
hold
got
So
it.
hilarious.
Yeah.
So this is
First-
actually
yeah.
the Christian mission. They showed you Dracula.
Yeah, our students on a small screen projected. But first film I truly remember in a massive way, very strange, is Kora Kagas and Andhi.
Ha.
But first film I saw was in a school as a kid. They showed us this film and we were horrified. And we were like, okay, God will save us.
And now you say cinema is your only religion. So, yeah. So
God, there's no God coming to save anyone.
No Smoking was released in 2007 and it confused the hell out of everyone. But you think today, if it was released in an OTT space or something, it would do better?
I have no idea. Actually, I'm very bad at doing those things for my own films.
Right.
But I know what can work as a film, it would have worked much more.
Right.
Like if today's OTT time was there, I would have never made Gangs of Wasseypur for screen. Gangs of Wasseypur, I would have really told a much larger
Interesting.
story for OTT.
A larger one than the 5-hour movie
Like a, I think a series.
made. 5
Yeah,
hours.
yeah. My first cut was 7.5 hours.
Right. Which is your favorite Hindi film of all time?
Sholay?
Pyasa.
Nah.
Pyasa is very easily my favorite
Pyasa review I recorded 2 years back, and I think it's edited now, so it will come out soon on the channel whenever I get time. Amazing movie.
Hindi film of all time.
Right. And
Pyasa impacted me in a way that
Pyasa is also about an artist, right? So I think that connects.
and the reason being?
I don't know. It's like why something is good is
Right. I mean,
because it is timeless for me. It resonates with me.
That film is very like relatable even today. Like it's like the things the film shows you. Like if you haven't seen, definitely check it out. I think it's on Prime. It's available on Prime. Definitely check it out. It's a must watch.
It has never aged for me.
right.
I still enjoy it, and when I show it to young generation, like 20-year-old, 15 years old, it has the same impact on them still.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I'll
it
agree.
is just that film that has the impact of it has not changed over the years.
Right. Why do films like Guru Dutt's films, for instance, work even today? They're timeless, like you said. Whereas a lot of
Sai
other
Baby or Gulam, Kagaz Ke Phool doesn't work for me as much.
no, but I'm saying there are other filmmakers who made hit films at that time or whatever it is, but something dates about
It
them.
is no nothing because it's rooted. See, I always keep talking about what I learned from Bicycle Thief other films is when I see a film, I get transported into that world and I believe into that world. I buy that world,
Whichever time
Yeah.
it is.
whichever time it is. So the films become that my go-to. If I need to go,
The same happens with me with Satyajit Ray's films. Like, I always had the perception that older films, technology in this they had much, and like they will not appeal me. But the moment I saw Putology, like I was transported. I was in that world. I think that's what he's trying to say. That I think the films which only the good dialogues, this and that, and moments, those films don't age well because that world feels unbelievable or fake, or okay, for that time people enjoyed the movie and moved on. But today watching them, you just find so many loopholes and unnecessary things and unbelievable things and etc. But if that world is so strong, if the characters and things don't have that big impact and all of that, still the world works. So that's today also those films work.
to that era, I'll see that film.
Right.
But I'll not see the blockbusters from that era because they don't truly represent that.
Yeah. And
world.
they date easily.
They date very easily. The blockbusters date very fast. I'm saying they become not because they're 50,000. Will if I just make you sit down and say watch the first Marvel movie? The Marvel movie coming out every month. You'll be like, why am I interested in watching something that I've seen long time back and what was so exciting about it? For me, still my favorite Hulk movie is the one with Edward Norton, and it didn't work
Yeah.
because it was more rooted.
Yeah. If someone
Even I've not seen that one.
gave you a whole bunch of money and said, make a historical biopic, whose life would you choose?
Historical biopic. I don't think I have the capacity to make a historical biopic.
It doesn't have to be a king or something. It could be a political figure. It could be
Yeah,
anybody.
I can't make a historical biopic. I'll go to more recent history, but people are not interested in recent history.
Okay.
The moment you say historical, people are interested in Raja and Rani, which I'm not interested in. So I'll either make a very art house film about Ashoka,
I would love to see that.
art house film about his guilt and redemption,
Right.
which will be a film about an individual in a jungle, or I will go to the recent history, which I was trying to do with Bombay.
Okay.
I still have those stories. I have amazing stories. The first bank robbery that happened in India.
And that was in Bombay.
Oh,
Huh.
It's a great story. I want to tell that.
man.
Do you
Please, someone, let him make that one.
enjoy song and dance sequences in cinema, and what
Very interesting one because it's very debated, and I'm in favor of it. If it works in the film, yeah, do it. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
is your favorite song and dance
No,
sequence?
no, I absolutely. The entire lockdown, I was tripping only on Hrithik Roshan's videos and Bansali's songs and dance sequences.
You said that.
So my go-to in my stress times is I watch Hrithik Roshan's dance videos and Bansali's songs. Is how I de-stress. Otherwise, I go to reels. I enjoy watching it. I enjoy watching mainstream a lot.
Yeah.
Good mainstream.
And it
I
reflects
don't
in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our mainstream today has become, I find it very bad. Quality-wise, very bad because I think somewhere the only person you see his own self and honesty is actually in Rohit Shetty, which is why you enjoy him. Because baki sab mainstream, they're just trying to copy.
That's true, like he gets a lot of flack, a lot of haters. They're like nonsense he makes, but he's the only one who's trying making his own stuff, right? Like, of course, okay, there's a debate. He copies a lot of South Indian films, but he's again making them in his own style, right? It's very. I think a lot of people would say the Temper movie, which is like Simba, is a remake of Simba. Is very different films. The idea may be same, the concept may be same, but they are very different films, and he has created his own style of filmmaking. So that's need your attention, or your not even praise, your at least your attention.
What works.
Right.
They're trying to be somebody else what works. Rohit has taken a time to come into his own. He realized, okay, he's good at action. So he started controlling that and all that. And it shows somehow.
Right.
I will argue with his sensibility. I'll argue with his politics. I'll argue with other things. But he's as mainstream as Hindi cinema can get. But otherwise, last was David Dhawan, who was a genre in itself. And I call David Dhawan an auteur.
Right.
Because you know what? He genuinely created that. Him and Govinda were like a remarkable team. They made me laugh.
Yeah.
But nothing. It's like nobody really understands the world they're living in.
See, Malayalam film being the rage today, I'm going to name 5 Malayalam film heroes, and I want you to
Okay.
tell me a part that you'd like to see them in, beginning with Prithviraj.
Prithviraj,
What would you write for them? What would you write for Prithviraj?
I tried to do that, no. We tried to make Ayya with him.
Yeah.
Long back. I will make a action movie with him and make him look old.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, I hope he's listening to this. What do you think? Let me know in the comments about this.
Dulquer.
Dulquer also, I
Okay.
almost did a film with him. Almost did Manmardiyan with him.
Oh. But he would have done a Punjabi accent. Like Vicky Kaushal was. I'm assuming it's for Vicky Kaushal's character, not Abhishek Bachchan's character. Okay, let him finish
I have a
this.
lot of guilt towards Dulquer. I want to use cast against the type. I'll use Dulquer in an evil role. I will probably use Dulquer as a bad boy villain.
Okay.
Okay.
A good-looking bad boy villain. A good-looking bad boy villain that you can't resist.
Fahad.
Fahad ke sath everybody is doing everything. So I think what will I do with Fahad that he's not doing it himself?
He's doing so many films. Like already so many announced.
I'll probably cast Fahad as a woman masquerading as a man.
Okay.
That's the only thing
Okay.
that's for him to do. And then make a
That's
very
interesting.
adventurous film with him.
Tovino Thomas.
Tomino, I would like. I'm very jealous of what he's done with in Minnale Murli.
Yeah.
Tomino,
He ruined it. He ruined the
I
name,
will
but
do.
okay.
I'll cast him as a middle-class, ordinary man caught in an extraordinary situation that he has no handle of.
Okay.
Where situation is controlling him and he's
Interesting.
trying to control the situations. His conflict is with the circumstances.
Okay.
Please get those movies done.
And Nivin Pauly.
Nivin Pauly, I've already seen him in his best role, Muthon. I think it's
Yeah.
the best thing.
He was
he's done.
amazing.
He took it up. But Nivin Pauly, he's just sent me his new film. I'll see it first. Because he's also
Oh.
been playing every kind of a thing. Make a Nivin Pauly into a man living in Bombay, struggling to fit in with language, with himself, with all those things. and trying to be more aggressive where he's not.
What is
I think this is the reason the audio is not very good. I think that's the reason that they didn't put it out early, and finally they thought let's just put it out. That's my assumption.
in your opinion, the purest of your films in the sense that it came closest to what you envisioned?
What I envisioned it came closest to is
Interesting.
ugly,
Okay.
but my purest film is Black Friday because it was made with all naivety and innocence and total devotion and honesty.
Okay.
Black Friday. And the two films that came closest to what I wanted to make was Ugly, Raman Raga, Man Marziyan. These are the films that came closest to what I envisioned.
Right.
Wasipur, I'm not
Okay.
fully satisfied with because of this one special effect that jars me till date.
Are you serious? Are you like you just like the entire movie is like spoiled because of that one bit just for you? This
Because otherwise it would have been a perfect film. It was such, everything was so good that one irresponsible man and taking advantage and disappeared. I don't think even Rajiv Ravi, nobody has forgiven him. Nobody has forgiven him, and he has disappeared after that because he knows nobody will forgive him for that. He delivered, it didn't happen at Cannes, and he said he will deliver. I'm sorry, he's still working. The film got delayed only because of that one man who we believed that we'll get the sequence right.
and that Digmanshu Dhulia being shot dead.
And being shot, it is just the most awful. His body and those plugs and everything, it is just, we believed the wrong man. We spent money making a prosthetic to get things done. We made a prosthetic of Tigmanshu. We spent so much money on it. Did everything for that man to get that one thing right. And he disappeared. He left India after that.
Right, but I think the rest of us are very happy with Gangs of Wasseypur.
Yeah,
So
but if I would have gotten that right, like I would have zero embarrassment about that film.
but thanks again. Anurag.
As humans, we are never satisfied, and especially as directors, I think every director would say, like he said, some of his films were good, and like he said, almost perfect. Gangs of Wasseypur, if that one scene was good. Famous quote that films are not finished; they just get released. Like any director you ask, they'll have something or the other they want to change or to have done differently in their films. But at the end of the day, you have just to release them, and that's the final output. Nothing you can do after that. So I think that's what makes it special, right? Like that, it's not perfect. I feel my big thought is that if something becomes perfect, then there can be nothing done. It's over. It's the end of that thing. You have to do something else now because you have already attained that perfection. And in art, we always say there can be nothing be perfect. And that's, I think, what makes it interesting, what makes it fascinating and makes it alive. The flaws of it. But this was fun. I think again, it was not released back when the interview happened because of the audio, a lot of disturbances. But it was great interview, great 10 questions again, as always. No doubt about that. Great insights. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, you can check out my full interview reaction to the whole thing. And again, if you enjoyed, do like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.